Hi! Before we start with the main video, I would like to thank you, ShiftSync, to be the main sponsor of today's video. Are you tired of feeling isolated in your work as a tester, developer or DevOps specialist? You want to be part of a community that is passionate about innovation, collaboration and cutting-edge technology? Look no further than ShiftSync. Follow the link in the video description and sign up for free and start the exchange with like-minded people. The goal of ShiftSync is to create a dynamic, engaged space for developers, testers and industry leaders to share knowledge and grow professionally. Quality is more than testing, and such sharing with collaboration will help improve the software development lifecycle on every stage, from security, code writing, defining requirements, accelerating performance and setting up a high-functioning developing team. ShiftSync is a community for everyone and anyone who is interested in all aspects of quality engineering from left to right across the software development spectrum. Engaging and relevant for users, practitioners, testers, manual or being automated, developers, no matter if it's web applications, mobile applications or DevOps specialists, software admins and the like. It shares relevant context such as blog posts, discussions, roundtable discussions and webinars. So make sure to sign up using the link in the video description and to start your community collaboration today. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Software Testing. My name is Knott and I'm happy that you're here. You have read it already in the video title. Today I would like to talk about what I learned from sports as a software tester. And yes, I will share some insights on the things I do in my spare time, like running and cycling, and what happened to me over the course of the year while performing that sports, and how I learned from situations that I can transfer over to my professional life as a software tester or right now as a head of software testing. So let's take a look what I have done and where I'm coming from in terms of sports activities. So I'm doing sports since I'm a kid. Yes, I was a really active kid, running around, never stop sitting, always exploring, finding stupid things to do and perform and to act and stuff like that. But overall, I like to be active in doing sports. And as I think like the majority of young boys, at least in Germany, I started with soccer, or how we call it, football, right? And so I started in my city where I was raised, basically, or in the village, started to play soccer and I enjoyed it, right? It was really fun to play with my friends and to get into sports. But back then, soccer was the only thing, or football, the only thing that I would like to do, and running was never my first choice. So, running is partially connected to soccer playing, but it's nothing that I was pursuing for, like I would really to be a runner or something like that. No, it was just like I had to run in terms of playing soccer. But over the course of the years, I tried many things. I tried basketball, I tried softball, I tried inline skating, hockey, all these kind of things. But I always stick back to soccer. But my life changed and our lives are changing. And when I grew up and when I started my university, in time, basically soccer became something that was not there for me anymore, because I had to leave my city to go somewhere else to find a university I would like to study. And there was no soccer team basically. And I also lost kind of the interest. So I thought like, hey, let's try something new. And I needed a new sport after soccer, basically. So I asked myself, like, hey, what can you do in order to stay active and healthy and this kind of stuff? And I said, okay, I will try gyms, right? Let's go there. Let's go do some muscle work. It's good for the back and for everything and for the chest and so forth and so forth. But to be honest, I hate going into gyms and to work out and to lift some weights. It's the most boring thing that I can imagine to do. Even though it's a good thing to do, but I don't like it. I hate it basically. So I said, okay, let's try running again. So I found back to running because I also wanted to explore the surrounding area where I was new in this new city. And I said, okay, let's get a pair of running shoes. It's also fairly cheap compared to other sports activities. And I found back to running. So I started to run. I don't know how often, like once or twice a week, maybe more. So I found back to running and I liked it actually. But I made a mistake. Yeah, I just started too fast with too many runs, too often, too long distances, and so forth and so forth. Like the typical beginner mistakes that you can do in terms you start something new. Maybe you notice also yourself. It doesn't need to be running, but or I think it's natural, because if you really like something and you would like to become good or better, you sometimes overdo it. So my struggle was real, and yes, injuries, here I am. So I had lots of issues with the whole running system wasn't used to the mileage that I was doing, and so forth and so forth. So I had to adapt. I had to change basically. So it's getting better basically, and the things that I have done. So you see two pictures actually that helped me a lot in becoming better. Is first of all, I was changing the way I was doing sports. So I was also doing, I'll just open it up, I was doing less runs, was doing more core workout. So what you can see here is using a black roll, a rubber band, and some balls, and to really like to support my body in terms of getting used to the mileage and the things as well. And I also bought a couple of more running shoes, so in order to keep up with my body, and also with different running shoes and providers, you can have like a different feeling of running. So it got better. So and then slowly I increased the kilometers per week to get back to non-injured running. Yeah. So, and what I wanted to say basically with that slide is I focused on the foundations. So I really took a step back and said, okay, hey, what I would like to achieve with my running. I want to stay healthy. I mean, I will never become like the next super runner and will finish a marathon below 1 hour 30, even though that nobody has ever made it so far. But that was never my intention. So I was taking a step back and focused on my foundations. And yeah, I set realistic goals like, hey, let's stay healthy as long as I can be, right? My goal is basically to run to a really old age, so that I can stay healthy and focused on my body basically. So I got inspired basically. That was my next step. And a couple of things that inspired me was I engaged more with the running community and stumbled upon, for example, on the profile from Florian Neuschwander, aka Run with the Flow. He's a really famous German ultra runner, and he's also a really funny guy. So in case you don't know him, I will make sure to follow his Instagram profile or check out his website. He's a really crazy guy. He's running 100 miles and more, but also he's kind of a relaxed person, and this kind of inspired me because he doesn't take it too serious, the running, even though he's a pro athlete. Yeah, so that really inspired me in getting more engaged with the things that I'm doing. And I was seeing more of my personal values in there as well, right? So he inspired me basically to continue with running and to overcome my injuries and to focus on the foundations. And the other thing that basically inspired me was a movie from Billy Yang, Life in a Day. It's also free, available on YouTube. I will also link it down in the video description. I will put it up here as well for you to follow. And Billy Yang is a great movie maker, and he was doing, or he's still doing, like running movies in terms of ultra runs. And he made this really nice video, Life in a Day, about the Western States 100 endurance race in the US. And make up, even though you're not in running, take a look at the video. It's like 45 minutes long. It's amazing what he has achieved, and also it's even more amazing to see what the human body is capable of doing in such a long distance run. So if you would like to know more about it, follow up. It's valuable to watch out. So basically I got inspired. And then I started to change my habits. Yeah, so you can also see 3 pictures down below. That's me and some pictures that I've took while I was running. And basically I changed my habits, and I found a bug. The layout of the slide looks really weird. Don't know what's going to happen, what happened here, but that's life. So I changed my habits. So the first thing that I was doing, basically due to the inspiration from the running community, I set myself a running goal. So my very first running goal was I would like to run 1,000 kilometers per year. For those of you who are not into running, this sounds like oh my god, that's a long distance. Of course it's a long distance, but it's not too hard to achieve. Basically, if you stay dedicated and focused on that goal, you can achieve it. And I did. So I changed my habits and I set myself a goal. Hey, I would like to reach that, because if I do that, I did the math. I divided like times 12 months and by day. So I knew the average of kilometers I had to run. And that fit to my personal life, basically. Even though I had to change a bit my habits, as I said in the title, in order to reach that goal. While I was working full-time and having young children at home, I needed to change my running habits. So I needed to change something, because before I was only running in the evening after work, but this wasn't working out for me anymore, because due to my kids, I would like to spend more time with them after working hours. So I said myself, okay, I need to change something. And so I would change from evening running to running during lunch breaks. So that's the picture in the middle, when I was running in the city center of Hamburg. And I had to do morning runs. So you can see also the picture on the other side with the headlamp on my head is basically I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, no matter what weather we have outside, and I just go out for a run, because it helped me a lot in order to calm down and to reach my goal. And also the other picture, this is one from the summertime. It's really awesome to run from the darkness into the daylight. It's amazing what you can see from a nature perspective, and this helps me a lot in focus and keep me up to date, keep me up and running. So and it gives me a lot of power and recharging my batteries, basically. So I changed habits, but in order to stay motivated and to establish habits, this is not an easy thing. Yeah, so establishing new habits take a while. It depends on what you would like to achieve, but from my perspective and from my personal point of view, for me it takes around about 30 days in order to establish a new habit. Maybe there are some scientific research on that as well, also available, but I noticed that if I continue the habits of going into the morning run and to continue and be dedicated to that time frame, I can establish a habit. And for me, the alarm is going and I just wake up and go out. Perfect. Just do it. Just try it out. So also my body got used to the early morning runs and running in the darkness, as well as in rain, in winter time, in snow and stormy winter conditions and these kind of things. So in the end, I found out it's a mental game. So it all happened inside your head, basically. Because if you say, I don't want to, and there's always an excuse to not go out because it's cold, it's dark, it's too hot, and so forth and so forth. In the end, it all comes down to your mental game, and the things that you would like to achieve. Yeah, and I said myself, okay, I want to reach my goal and I want to stay motivated. And in order to do so, and in order to reach that goal, I needed a milestone. It's like a long vision target for me. And that was basically, I signed up for half marathons. I said, okay, I want to achieve that goal. And in order to have something I can work out for and train for, have a training plan, I signed up for 2 half marathons, basically. And yes, these are the results of running a half marathon. The one on the left was pretty good weather conditions. The one on the right, for example, when I was pretty exhausted with the really destroyed face, so to say. I started to run in the early morning, I think at 10 a.m., but it was already 38 degrees. So it was really, really hot. So and this was also a mental game. In between doing the run, I was thinking, hey, I should stop running now because I don't want to, because it's too hot. But then I slowed down a bit. I had lots of water. I walked a bit, and then I said, hey, let's give it a try. And I noticed it's just in my head that this barrier of finishing it up, and I made it. So I made it to the finish line. I was pretty happy, and I learned something from it, because if you stay connected with yourself and keep on your strength and focus, you can reach it. So that's really helpful for me. So I stayed motivated. But then after now I think more than 7-8 years of really dedicated running, I had the feeling of trying something new. So I wanted to leave the comfort zone. As we all know, that phrase is out there, hey, you need to leave your comfort zone in order to reach the next level. And I left my comfort zone and got myself a gravel bike. So I would like to know something new, a new sport, a different routine, also with more technical aspects in repairing a bike. So I really would like to know more about that stuff that has to be fixed in case something is breaking down. So And it's also perfect for me to do sports without going running. So it's a perfect tandem, basically, to say if you're a runner, road cycling or gravel biking might be the next good sports for you. And as I said, it was a new world for me. Many new things to learn, which I love. I love to learn new things. So that's also something that I left my comfort zone, and that's my bike. And as you can see on the mileage, a couple of months later, I already tried to set a new boundary, or tried the new boundaries out for me. So I sat down and cycled more than 100 kilometers in one take. Of course, I did some breaks in between, but I would like to know more about my body, how the body can handle the situation, how I can leave really comfort zone in order to learn more about myself, about my body, and about my strength. And yeah, I made it. It was a good, it was a really good feeling afterwards. Of course, I was tired, exhausted, but I felt good, and I felt relief, basically, because I saw that I can do it. You know, I can have trust in myself, so I can do it. And that was the big part, the big learning part for me here. So in the end, now that you know that I'm doing lots of sports and I do many more things in between, what did I learn from doing sports? And I have 6 points for you for you today that I have learned during that time. So the first thing is focus. So you need to focus. If you want to excel something like software testing or anything else that you're doing right now, focus on that particular topic, and then you can achieve whatever you would like to achieve. Set yourself realistic goals and focus on what's needed in order to achieve that goal. It's helpful, and you will make it. Dedication, yeah. Be dedicated in what you're doing, right? So this is really, for me, it's tightly connected to focus, but dedication means for me like to continue, to grow, to try out new things, to explore new things, try out different techniques while doing something. And this is also the case for us as testers, right? We have to have dedicated mindset in order to try out new things and to explore new capabilities and to get better over time. The third thing that I learned is to connect. So never work alone. Yeah, so I found the running community. Now that I am with doing more cycling, I found like-minded people in the gravel community, and we do some activities together. So that's perfect. So find like-minded people in communities. So there are lots of testing communities out there that you can join, that you can exchange with. And if you don't like to be part of a community, which I cannot understand because there are really great testing communities out there, maybe talk to co-workers or to some friends about your topics, issues, or anything you would like to talk about. But it's always helpful to talk to someone. The fourth thing is strength. There's not always sunshine, right? So in case of tough situation, keep your focus and believe in your strength. That's really important. When you're doing like sport activities, for example, and long distance running or long distance cycling, or even like everyday running, which is also something in the community, you learn something about yourself, about your strength. And also, for example, if you manage to run something or to do something really difficult that you thought you will never reach, and then you made it, you can be proud of yourself. And this adds to your strength, to your personal strength, and it will help you also in your life as a software tester. The fifth topic is reflect. So always reflect on what you are doing. Are you missing something, or are you avoiding situations, or doesn't it feel like good for you? Does it go against your personal values, for example? If you notice that one, reflect on this topic, ask yourself similar questions, and then take an action from it. Maybe you stop. In my case, I've not stopped running, but in just an example, if you notice that running is not your thing, move on, go to something else. If you try to software testing and you don't like it, or you don't like mobile testing and you would like to go to web testing, go ahead, do it, right? So, but really reflect on yourself and be honest with you in order to achieve what you would like to achieve. And reflection helps a lot. And last but not least, the comfort zone. Yes, leaving your comfort zone is really helpful to improve and to learn new things. If you always do the things that you have always done, it's comfortable, right? It feels cozy, you know, it's a valuable seating, so to say, but you will not take the next step to improve your skills, to improve your personality, and therefore it's well helpful to maybe also change your job, change the employer, change the company, change the industry, change the field of interest in software testing. So just to take the next step, whatever the next step might be. And this might be helpful for you. And yeah, these were the 6 topics that I learned doing sports activities. Of course, you can also transfer this from other activities in your personal life, but that's my story, coming from that angle, from that sport angle, and the things that I've done in sports helped me a lot in doing something in software testing. So I set goals, I was dedicated, I focused, I supported the community, and look, here I am having a YouTube channel. I created a book. I'm head of software testing now, so I made myself up some goals, some achievable goals, and it took me quite a while, right? I mean, I'm in software testing industry now for 15 years, and so don't be like myself when I started running and try to do too many things at the same time. Focus, work on the foundations, and then you can do whatever you would like to do. So that's what I wanted to tell you today. And I'm curious, what kind of sport activities are you doing and what have you learned from it? Leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear it and love to share it also with the community. And as always, leave a thumbs up, leave a subscription in case you liked the video, and see you next time. Bye.